All right, due to requests, we're looking at Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Two heroes I love in the comics. I'll put it that way. I actually like Green Arrow in the Justice League Unlimited show. I think he was done very well there. Hawkeye's been a hit or miss for me. He's been good, like the MCU movies. He's been decent. It's I've read a lot of like Hawkeye in the comics, and the comparison, and I guess that's my fault because I shouldn't compare the comics to the movie, so maybe that is my fault. But let's just say the movie, he was okay. He was okay. Green Arrow, we never got a live action. Well, we did get the TV show. I didn't really like that. So, regardless, we're talking about Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Sorry. Honestly, when it comes to them two, it's just who makes the first mistake. I mean, Death Battle's going to break down more. Maybe it's something else. You know how these comic characters, they be going far beyond what the superhero is supposed to be. Like now, after I learned about that Iron Man and comics are now defeating gods and stuff like that, it's like, okay, these comics are really stretching these superheroes. So who knows how far Green Arrow and Hawkeye has been stretched. But from what I know, the basic side, pull back the original just vigilante out there, human and with the arrows and stuff. It's a toss up. It just depends on who makes the first mistake. Yeah. It's like Bullseye versus Deadshot. You know, the two people that don't miss. It's like, okay, who's gonna miss first? That's how it feels. It's like I wouldn't know. I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel fan, so I'm gonna say Green Arrow. But it literally could go either way unless there's some galactic power that they got, because the comic just kept going, making them overpowered. But just the basic of Green Arrow and Hawkeye, to me, it could be either one. I'm more of a DC fan, so I'm gonna say Green Arrow. So let's see. Let me know in the comments who you choose. Shout out to Death Battles. I'll put the original video in the description below.
When you give Since its creation in the Stone Age, the bow and arrow forever revolutionized hunting and warfare.
But these two archers have honed their bow skills to a degree of pure artistry.
Green Arrow, the Emerald Archer of Star City.
And Hawkeye, purple-clad trick shooter of the Avengers. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to
Oh
find
yeah, I
out
like
who would
Hawkeye
win
and
a death battle.
Marvel's Capcom 3.
Allow me to tell you the tale of an archer garbed in green who brought justice to the rich and championed the poor. I speak, of course, of the legendary outlaw named
Oliver was the son of Robert and Moira Queen, billionaire owners of the weapons and technology development company Queen Industries in Star City. Oliver was on track to inherit the family business and fortune, but it all ended up coming much sooner than anybody expected.
While on safari, which rich people apparently just do all the time, Oliver's parents were murdered by lions. No, I'm not kidding, but hey, Mom got off a wicked headshot before she went out.
Yeah.
The family fortune and business were now in Oliver's hands. However, desperate to forget the horrible trauma of
I got
his
a question on Oliver Queen. Y'all remember Batman v Superman? The party that Lex Luthor had where Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne first met? You remember when Clark Kent asked the question that Bruce Wayne didn't like, and Ben Affleck or Bruce Wayne was like, Daily Planet, do I own this one or is that the other guy? Was the other guy he talking about, was that Oliver Queen? Because Lex Luthor was there, so he could have said, is that Lex? He said other guy. And we know the other billionaire that is in the DC universe is Oliver Queen. I always wondered, was he referring, like it was a little referral of Green Arrow, considering that they were friends and, we know the future with them too. Let me know in the comments. That was just something that hit my mind thinking about Green Arrow here. Hey, Daily Planet, do I own this one or was that the other guy? Let me know.
death by lions, he turned to a lifestyle of booze and debauchery.
Ah, the best way to go.
Sounds familiar.
Well, until one day he partied so hard that he fell off his private yacht. Hate it when that happens. Eventually, he washed up onto the shore of a lone island, Tom Hanks style.
Desperate to survive, Oliver knew he must resort to the archery training taught to him by his late father. He assembled a makeshift bow and, over time, gained an uncanny accuracy with the weapon. With each successful kill, Oliver's self-reliance grew, transforming the once irresponsible playboy into a capable survivor.
And just in time. Turns out this island was home to a massive drug smuggling operation. How he didn't find them earlier is beyond me, but whatever.
With nothing but his hunter's instincts and some newly improvised trick arrows, Oliver brought down the dealers, radioed in a rescue, and returned to Star City a new man. With a newfound taste for justice, Oliver vowed he would no longer waste his talents and use them to protect the innocent. To do this, he would have to become someone else.
After the first season or first 2 seasons of Arrow, didn't really care for the show. It was okay already with the first 2, but it just started. Oh, hold on. Now I like him in that show.
True to his namesake, the Green Arrow favors
With the live
bow
action,
over
I wasn't
everything
feeling
else. And while that may sound like it every situation, and I do mean every situation,
he carries tear gas arrows, grappling hook arrows,
like the Batman
flashbang
for
arrows,
archers.
even arrows filled with acid.
is that the one for the Grateful Dead concerts?
No, corrosive acid. It burns through things.
He also has boomerang arrows, along with diamond-tipped arrows to pierce just about anything, explosive arrows ranging from small blasts to an atomic warhead, and the boxing glove arrow.
The famous
Silly
one.
as it may appear, Oliver only kills when it's absolutely necessary. So delivering a long-range punch to the face makes some sense. At least more so than many of the other trick arrows in his quiver, like the donut arrow, a weapon designed to feed children.
It's dangerous and delicious.
Green Arrow likes to come to a
Interesting,
fight
okay.
prepared, and his expertise extends beyond just the use of a bow. He has extensive training in assassination and martial arts under some of the best teachers around, including Natas, the man who turned Deathstroke into one of the deadliest mercenaries in the world.
Green Arrow became such a skilled fighter that he was voted into the Justice League, saving the world alongside the likes of Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Black Canary, a smoking hot blonde who he took a liking to.
I like their
Don't mind
relationship
saving
in
a
the
few more
comics.
things with her.
Are we dead yet?
They got married, had the kids and stuff.
Dead yet?
Being a part of the Justice League has pit Green Arrow against foes powerful enough to be called gods, and somehow he not only survives, but he actually helps. He's fast enough to fire 29 arrows in 1 minute. His accuracy is so on point, he is able to shoot water dripping from a faucet at 30 feet away
Dang.
and split a grape balanced on a man's head.
He'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, like shooting a girl's hand to keep her from falling, or torture. There's no way around it. He tortures people. But it's for the greater good, right?
Of course, but even with all his trick arrows, his quiver does have limited
This dude
space,
had 5
and he
arrows in a
prefers
dude's
to keep
ear.
His armor minimal, focusing instead on offense over defense.
But hey, he's not all arrows and killing. Eventually, he and Black Canary got together and started up a flower shop called Sherwood Florist. As an expert on puns, 10 out of 10.
A hero can come from anywhere, from the streets of New York, the depths of space, or a tiny rural home in Iowa.
But growing up in the middle of nowhere wasn't easy for 13-year-old Clint Barton. Turns out his dad had some bad habits, like being an alcoholic or beating the shit out of his sons, Clint and Barney.
After years of abuse, Clint longed to fight back and defend his family from his violent father.
Obviously, a bit too much to ask of a 13-year-old child. Luckily enough, his dad's car did the job for him, along with a big tree. Remember, kids, drinking and driving is not okay. I mean, do you want this to be you? That's what I thought.
Orphaned by DWI, Clint and Barney had a second chance at a family and were adopted by a new dad, who was just as bad as the first.
Maybe even more. Dad number 2 tried to run him down with his car.
Until they were rescued by circus performers Jacques and Buck, who
I didn't
took
know
them
about
under
this
their
backstory.
wing and into the Carson Carnival of Traveling Wonders.
These guys saw potential in Clint's natural bow and arrow talent and began his archery training. Clint's skill rose rapidly, and he soon took the stage as Hawkeye, the trick shooter.
In only 1 year, Hawkeye became a master of his craft, but a rift formed between teacher and student when he discovered Jacques was stealing money from the circus and training his brother Barney to be a thief.
Turns out the 2 heroes who rescued them were actually supervillains. What's with these kids' luck? Did they open an umbrella inside which scared a black cat to dart under a ladder which fell and broke a mirror reflecting the sun's rays to burn down a field of 4-leaf clovers?
No, that happened to Nick.
What?
Anyway, Clint hated the idea of working for a couple of D-bags and ran away. Lucky for him, all it took to find a new calling in life was to see Iron Man soaring overhead. Another alcoholic father figure, but in the fun way.
Inspired to use his talents to fight criminals just like the Iron Avenger, Clint took up his old stage name, donned his circus costume once more, and crafted a wide assortment of multi-use trick arrows.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hawkeye's putty arrows cover foes in glue. His acid arrows can melt through steel. He can scale buildings with suction-tipped arrows. His adamantium arrows are tipped in nearly indestructible metal. Hell, one of his arrows is a 30-megaton bomb.
He also carries Pym particle trick arrows. Pym particles shrink or enlarge objects via shifting matter between dimensions. They take their name
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Hawkeye uses this
What
dimensional
the heck?
wizardry to shoot an arrow.
I didn't know
which
he
is
had
literally
adamantium
full
arrows
of
too.
other
That's pretty
arrows.
cool.
With his quiver loaded full of impossibility, Hawkeye took to the city to begin his crusade against injustice. But on his first outing, while trying to return some stolen jewels, the police mistook him for a thief. And it really didn't help that he fled the scene with then infamous criminal Black Widow.
Well, he knew better, but if there's one thing Hawkeye does when he's conflicted, it's not ask questions and follow where the old shaft takes you. And no, I'm not talking about a trick arrow. So he helped Black Widow until one of their shenanigans resulted in her apparent death. Believing he was free from the grip of the succubus, he remembered that crime is bad and went to join the Avengers.
Not just the Avengers. Over the years, Hawkeye's lent his bow to other super teams such as the Thunderbolts and the Defenders.
Avengers, Defenders, Thunderbolts. I make any team better.
In the midst of highly advanced armor, rage-fueled monsters, and gods from other dimensions,
I want to be clear. He
the
was
simple
cool in the
archer would be
movie.
of little use.
I was just
But
expecting
Hawkeye's feats prove he is
something a little
anything
different.
but simple.
Hawkeye can shoot 4 incoming arrows out of the sky at once, shatter the bow of a distant archer with a single shot, and string his whole bow and fire an arrow in less than a second. Plus, his aim is so good he'll hit bullseyes when he's strapped to what I like to call Satan's carousel.
But he is more than just an archer. After grueling training under Captain America, Clint temporarily set aside the Hawkeye suit to become the samurai
Own it.
Ronin. The result even impressed Iron Fist.
I do like they
one of
showed
the
that a
greatest
little bit in
martial artists
Endgame.
the world.
And for
Wait,
us,
what happened with Iron Fist?
normal.
Set aside the Hawkeye suit to become the samurai Ronin. The result even impressed Iron Fist, one of the greatest martial artists in the world.
And for
I thought
us
he was gonna say
supposedly
better than Iron Fist. He's
normal
like, no,
people,
not
he's
better. Just he
surprisingly
impressed
tough.
them.
He's shaken off falls from several stories, fought in battles with cracked ribs, and managed to not die from this.
Luckily for Hawkeye,
Plot armor, that's why.
Ghostbusters 2 shirt found him and alerted the paramedics. And he made a complete recovery within 6 weeks.
Who you gonna call? The hospital, kid? Quick, holy shit, that was like 100 bullets, bleeding everywhere.
A reminder that even a seasoned Avenger isn't always bulletproof. But after this, Hawkeye's buddy Tony Stark upgraded his outfit to include some chainmail. So that's handy.
But it can't cover everything. Plus, Hawkeye can only carry so many trick arrows at once, and has to make every shot count. Also, he's kind of hard of hearing, but you would be too if a psychopath hid behind a door and jammed 2 arrows in your ears.
Ooh, goodness
But
gracious,
Tony
I forgot
also
about
made him
that.
some kick-ass hearing aids. Though if they
Dang, I
damage
forgot about
people,
that.
lose about 80% of his hearing.
Still, as an Avenger, Defender, and so much more, Hawkeye has accomplished a lot for a circus performer.
If you step out that door, you are an Avenger.
He was someone I did wish he showed
right,
up in
the
Doctor
cards are
Strange,
set.
the Multiverse of Madness, something like that, because he was sort of like a good influence to Wanda and like a father figure. And I wished in the TV show Wanda and Vision and the Doctor Strange, he showed up somehow and tried to convince her and help her, because yeah, he was a good influence to them. But well, Quicksilver passed away, but to Wanda, not saying that he would convince her to get her act together, but you know, moments like that, she paid attention to him. So it would have been nice if he showed up in the TV show or
End this
movie.
debate once and for all.
I'm still going for Green Arrow. It's gonna be who makes the first mistake.
Not today, sweetheart. You're gonna try to out-archer me? This is how it's done.
Something about this.
Dang.
Very not right.
The most random things to have.
Lucky shot, punk.
Uh-oh.
This takes real skill, you know. World's greatest marksman, at your service.
You should hear the boxing glove arrow when it hits. It makes this kind of sound. I gotta record it and make it my ringtone.
Aww. You remind me of my circus days, clown.
One little arrow, one big boom. I like not getting blown up.
You're not brash if you can back it up.
Hand-to-hand combat, I'll take Green Arrow. Bang! Get down to the ground. Wow.
You're under a lot of stress. I recommend acupuncture, Green Arrow style.
Dang! That
Eat
adamantium.
your heart out, Robin Hood.
Oh, that's a headache.
Shot for shot.
Black Canary
Arrow
goes
for
up. That's
arrow.
cold.
Green Arrow and Hawkeye are a well-made match, making this an extremely close fight.
Green Arrow has pulled off some ridiculous shots, but when Hawkeye is at his best, it's nearly impossible for any mortal man to hit him. We're talking about a guy who catches arrows in his bare hands, even when he's been blinded.
Both archers wield impressive bows, too. An average bow needs as much as 80 pounds of force to pull. Green Arrows has an impressive draw weight of 125 pounds. However, Hawkeye's is double that at 250 pounds. This is the same bow he can fire at near machine gun speeds, even at a faster rate than Green Arrow, while wearing chainmail.
Oliver may have had an arrow for just about any situation, but he didn't have one for making him faster, stronger, and tougher than Hawkeye. Looks like Green Arrow got shafted.
So that
The
must have been
winner
the
is Hawkeye.
adamantium arrow. That was a mistake, yeah. Like I said, just who's gonna make the first mistake? Green Arrow didn't expect him to have an adamantium arrow, so, and we know, if you know Wolverine, you know what adamantium does, or how strong it is. So, all right, I'm actually thinking about it. I haven't lost one in a minute. Yeah, this was the first one in a while. Yeah, I'll take it. I love them both, though. Like I said, it's all on that one. It's just who's making the first mistake. And Green Arrow's mistake was not knowing what arrow that that Hawkeye was using. So I'm pretty sure if he knew what it was and it was just a regular arrow, he would have dodged it. So first mistake goes to the winner, which is Hawkeye. So because Green Arrow made that mistake of not having the knowledge. But let me know in the comment section, who did you choose before you saw the video? Like, don't give the answer now like, well, now that I watched, I'm going to say this. No, who did you thought before the battle started? And let me know who else y'all want me to react to. Like I said, I always love these kind of death battle videos. But there's other ones as well outside of death battle. Let me know which ones you want me to check out. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll check you later.